This is CNN Breaking News.
This is Raven Lee reporting live for CNN. Right now, I'm standing in front of Chile, where Brinker International is dominating the headlines for tonight. The company has posted a stunning surge at return earnings. Traffic is soaring far beyond the average, and their overall growth is performing well. Analysts are calling it one of the biggest comeback among the casual dining sectors. Behind the numbers, the story is unfolding. Right now, let's move to the Brinker's public board meeting to see what their leadership has to say.
So glad we've gotten covered and recognized. We're doing so well, our operations are steady and aligned, and we have a strategic vision to keep our firm going. Our operational capabilities and dedication to customers are only getting stronger, and with the finances to keep the momentum going, I think now more than ever, we should give back to our community and everyone who made it happen. Let's break this down. What are our current campaigns and programs? Let's start off with Dog, our Chili COO, who has a strong familiarity with the brand.
Yeah, Chili's Eat a Pepper is a partnership with St. Jules running over 20 years, where each September, patrons can buy a coloring sheet, the proceeds of which are donated. As a few years ago, we raised about $100 million for the cause. Overall, we've committed to our community with a family centricity push.
Well, as Maniata's innovation officer, I must add we've also had success with our Make-A-Wish Eat a Dish campaign that's geared toward benefiting children since 2003. And we made sure donations are accessible in-store and online, even so far as through online orders, enabling over $10 million in donations.
Well, as glad as I am about our community involvement, I'd also like to point out our internal social purposes. As a big advocate of DEI and as Brinker CFO and CBO, it all starts with our employees. We want to make sure that everyone works happy, focusing on increasing belonging and bolstering their career development. For instance, we've been educating our teams about inclusive policies and making sure that our managers make our customers feel included and like they belong at every step of the way.
Adding on to Aaron, as Brinker's Vice President of Compensation and Benefits, I would like to point out our other retention-led programs, such as our EDU program for employees, which ensures that they are supported in getting anything from their GED to an associate's level, at no cost to them. I'm not sure what Mika, our CFO, would feel about this though.
Yeah, so while I do have some thoughts on that, but I believe our company's culture, that's also why Brinker Fund exists, to make sure our members are supported in hard times. We also have ESG initiatives like energy efficient kitchens have also been something we've actually been investing and looking into it.
That's great to hear. So what does it mean for our business? I've seen that about 80% of the customers prefer brands that care about social impact. And so it's good that we're doing work both inside and outside the company. But now, how is this actually affecting us financially and culturally?
Yeah, so we don't create line items for these initiatives, but reallocating some profits to donations and internal operations haven't hindered our growth. In fact, more our customers lead to quicker inventory turnover and higher sales. Although our investments in ESG equipment have increased our assets and capital expenditures, they also reduced emission by 4% and lower utility to maintenance costs.
Our brand loyalty and equity has also increased over time. And not that we'd ever consider selling, but Margiano's was valued at $194.7 million by one external auditor. But moreover, in terms of staffing, we have really attractive opportunities and a high human capital, which means that we have lower turnover and better loyalty.
It's just who we are. It's in our bones. To Aaron's point, manager turnover dropped to 19.4%, well below the industry average, and 92% of our new Chili's general managers are promoted internally, saving on our hiring costs.
Yeah, moreover, there's less legal and reputational risk from team members because they trust us. From my perspective, these risks translate directly into preventable expenses and future liabilities.
Wait, but training employees does require investment and time. While some of our shareholders may not understand the value of a lot of our community initiatives, I know our staff do. But I think if 80% of our customers are more likely to buy from us if we are socially driven, let's promote this front and center. I'm all in about it. So, on the income statement here, purpose-driven spending such as training and community programs appear at operating expense here, potentially reducing short-term profits and frustrating shareholders. However, these investments lower risk, enhance loyalty, and yield long-term values, as cost management now while return accumulate later.
Thanks, Mika. Now let's zoom out on the financials and talk about the capital beyond the balance sheet, specifically our brand capital and customer capital. When people believe in what we stand for, they're not just buying a meal, they're building a relationship with us. That trust shows up in loyalty, repeat visits, and word of mouth. And because Chili is so people focused, that trust becomes our biggest long-term advantage. And it makes every marketing dollar work harder, lowers our risk, and gives us a stronger base to grow.
Great point, Kevin. I agree with the fact that we're building relationships here. As a chef, I know that food is key, but it's only one part of the whole that keeps people coming back. And we've got 5.8 million social media followers, allowing us to amplify the messages that are really important to us and keep people coming through those doors. That represents our hugely impactful communications capital, and I think moving forward, we want to seamlessly incorporate the aspects of food service combined with social impact that make us who we are.
Yeah, jumping in here, the socials are great, but I want to redirect. Let's really emphasize that people aspect. We've got some of the best and brightest surrounding us at Brinker, over 83,000 of them at all. I'm really proud of our social initiatives that keep our employee retention and engagement up, because that improves our operational efficiency, which most importantly creates positive guest experiences.
Wow, you're really selling Brinker as a great place to work.
Exactly, and it's not just our team. So it's also about the people we want to bring in next. So let's talk about that. What does this mean for our future employees? Let's break it into recruiting, culture, and mission-driven impact. Jason, kick us off.
Sure, purpose is now a hiring advantage. People don't just want a job, they want alignment. That's how we became the #2 best place to work in Dallas. But we can't just rely on that title. We need to keep investing in our internal initiatives, or we will lose credibility at candidates.
Yeah, but culture isn't a poster. It's what happens when our 4 employees don't show up at the same time. If our teams burn out, a great mission won't keep them here. Stores with flexible scheduling and recognition keep people. The ones without, turnover. And that hits operations and guest experiences.
Right, purpose has to be part of our employee journey. It's not just a slogan. Programs like Emerge, Lead, and Rise create real career paths, but only if managers know how to activate them.
Okay, let me put the numbers on that. Turnover is expensive, and internal promotions are the cheapest way to fill roles. But every new initiative costs money, you know? If we're funding development programs or cultural efforts, we need measurable outcomes. Purpose is a strategic investment, and like any investment, it has to show measurable outcomes.
That's exactly the balance we need. Purpose gets candidates in front of us, and culture keeps them here, and mission inspires them to do more for our customers.
So with that in mind, how are our stock price and dividends looking?
Well, from the people's and operations side, we're seeing positive signs for our shareholders. Because our culture is strong and our team is engaged, our business has become more steady, and our stability has been showing up in our performance. Our stock prices have been moving upwards, and dividends have been increasing year on year as the business has become more consistent.
Thanks, Aaron. Big picture. Shareholders care about stability. When our purpose builds loyalty and reduces turnover, our earnings become more predictable. And that leads to a stronger stock price and more steady dividends. Mika, how do you see this in the numbers?
Yeah, so numbers back this up. In the last 3 years, we have paid down $570 million in debt, nearly halving our debt and improving our debt to equity ratio from 19.95 to 1.50. It's significantly lower our financial risk. We also increased share buybacks from 25.8 million to 90.2 million, reflecting our confidence in the future. As purpose with performance aligned, investor confidence has grown, and the market is clearly responding to our direction.
Thanks, Mika. So overall, what we are seeing is that our purpose and our financial performance are moving in the same direction, and that is exactly what gives our shareholders confidence.
Yes, confidence. I like that word. I think it sums up a lot of what we discussed here today. What gives us confidence, right? I bet people wonder that before they see what we have to back it up. Aaron, can you tell us a little more about what the future looks like? How are we maintaining the internal optimism and people's confidence with us?
Well, like we've established many times, I think people are at our core. We balance profits, people, and purpose, and as a next step, we're going to continue to strengthen that, especially through initiatives like Back to Margiano's. Our what is our people, our so what is the positive experiences they create, and our now what is building on that momentum. I think Anthony can speak a little bit more on this.
Absolutely. In polarized environments, our focus is on universal values like hospitality, employee well-being, food safety, and sustainability. Consumers want honesty and stability, and by staying people first, we remain resilient regardless of the external climate.
Yeah, and that's why profits and purpose are not separate. Purpose guides the decision we make, and profits are the result of making those decisions well.
Very well said. When it comes to social messaging, people respond to authenticity. That's why we focus on internal initiatives like the Brinker Family Fund, Best U EDU, and Strong Benefits. These aren't marketing tactics. They are operational investments that build resilience, reduce turnover risk, and ultimately support our bottom line.
When we protect our people, we protect our brand. So thank you all. You're the reason Brinker is what it is today. It's now time for some chilies!